What is quality? The definition is the degree to which a project fulfills the requirements. The book says quality should be planned upfront, but really what it is make sure you have a clear scope, the user stories or the requirements. Be clear on that. That's the foundation to measure quality.
With our projects and MTD's systems, we are not the cheapest contractor, but we try and offer the client peace of mind with the installations that we put in. And with that, we will build in a certain amount of redundancy into the system to foresee any problems or challenges like additional spec or extra resources that are required on the job. So yeah, that gives the client peace of mind. They pay for that, but it's worth it in the end for them.
So firstly, it's important to say the cost of quality is less if you've started with quality right at the beginning of your project. If you're clear about what your quality criteria are, the outputs need to deliver, and also that you're clear about how you're going to measure whether those quality criteria are being met. All of that should be hard baked into the project plan and the project budget from the start, so we can plan and build that into the project accordingly.
One of the main challenges we're trying to iron out currently, but remains a challenge for us, is reducing failure costs, whether that be additions to the spec, which mean we have to send more equipment to site, which we haven't budgeted for. So it's really about trying to incorporate a contingency into the planning process so that those costs are not borne directly by us, but are built into the project.
In my experience, the biggest cost of quality is the rework. Wasting time, reprocessing something you should have done right the first time, and wasting that time not doing other activities which will be adding value to the project.
Yeah, I think our projects require accurate information because everything that requires water gets added to the capacity calculation, which gives us an end reading for the amount of volume that's going to be required each day. If we don't have that information, then it may be that we don't put enough resource in place to deliver water to all of those points. Quality information, accurate information is absolutely essential for us to design the right system. As soon as we start making assumptions, it's based on historic data from other events which may not be accurate and then can lead us to have issues later down the line when we've installed the system and maybe the client comes back to us and says, oh, well, that's actually a vacuum toilet there, not a full flush toilet, for example, one of which has half a litre of flush, the other has 12 litres. So that sort of quality information is absolutely essential for us to design a system that's suitable for that event.
What else does rework mean? Normally it means delays. So if you are processing something again, you are ultimately delaying the project, but also you are increasing the costs. You are just wasting time on something which should have been done in a different way.
I think it's also useful up front to be quite explicit with your project board or steering group as to whether time, cost, quality, which of those is the most important driver. That will help steer decision making when you might get into rockier waters. So for example, are we prepared to spend more budget to achieve a higher quality? Or is time a key driver, so we compromise some of the quality elements in order to deliver the thing quicker?
So the organiser should always have that information. Now, sometimes they don't, and they'll give us the name of the toilet company, for example, or the shower company, and we will then go direct to that company to find the further detail that we require for the capacity calculation.
Clearly, the area where quality is important is the customer satisfaction. If the quality is not there, you will have an unhappy customer, possibly resulting in loss of business. And that's one of the reasons why newer techniques, like for example Agile, they do not compromise on quality.
we have a project management tool that we've designed in-house that builds in a double check. So each calculation that is done has to be checked by a second pair of eyes. As we get closer to the event, that is then checked through once again with the client. So there's a stepped process of making sure that we've always got the right information, and that is then checked by a second person as well. There's also post calculation that is done after the event as well. Because of us working within the events industry and us as being the first in and the last out on an event site, we quite often have a challenge of things changing halfway through the event, and we will always get through, but sometimes after the event it's essential for us to do a post calculation to see where we went wrong and put that right for another event.
Once you've got to the end of the project and you have the deliverables, any quality issues then become quite costly in terms of either rework that's needed to achieve the right level of quality. Internally, you also might have issues with project team reputation or buy-in to the products if we think they're not of sufficient quality. If there's something that's gone out the door externally, a poor quality product, for example, you've then got reputational issues with your customer, you've got technical issues you need to sort out, there may be liabilities, product recalls, all of that kind of stuff that then makes quality really quite expensive towards the end of the project. So building it in from the start is just going to be a lot more cost effective from a number of perspectives.
Project managers, they do tend to focus more on schedule, timelines and delivering on time. But ignoring a quality issue today is very likely to bring you a much bigger problem later on, which ultimately is going to elongate the project timeline anyways. So when someone on a project brings you a potential issue with quality, that's a strong signal. Pay attention, take some actions.